Imagine getting into your car, typing in a destination, closing your eyes, and arriving safely without ever touching the steering wheel. No stress, no road rage, no human error. Just a smooth, efficient journey handled entirely by a machine. That future has been promised to us for over a decade now. So why aren't we there yet? And more importantly, how close are we really? Today, we are going to cut through the hype, examine the hard data, and give you an honest picture of where self-driving technology actually stands right now. To understand where we are today, you need to understand where this all began. The concept of autonomous vehicles is not new. General Motors actually showcased a vision of self-driving highways at the 1939 World's Fair in New York. But serious, funded, technological development really kicked off in the early 2000s when DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, launched its Grand Challenge. In 2004, teams of engineers competed to build autonomous vehicles that could navigate a desert course. The winner would receive $1 million prize. That first year, no vehicle completed the course. The best performer made it just 7 miles before failing. But just 1 year later, in 2005, Stanford University's vehicle called Stanley completed the entire 132-mile route. That moment changed everything. It proved that autonomous navigation was genuinely achievable, and it lit a fire under the automotive and technology industries that has been burning ever since. By 2009, Google had quietly launched what would eventually become Waymo, and the race was officially on. Over the next decade, nearly every major automaker, dozens of technology startups, and billions of dollars in venture capital poured into the self-driving space. The promise seemed almost inevitable. Industry leaders were making bold predictions. By 2020, we were supposed to have fully autonomous vehicles on roads everywhere. Elon Musk famously promised that Tesla would have a coast-to-coast fully autonomous drive completed by 2018. That did not happen. So what went wrong, and what does the reality actually look like? To understand the challenge, you first need to understand the system that engineers use to classify autonomy. The Society of Automotive Engineers, or SAE, defines 6 levels of driving automation, ranging from level 0 to level 5. Level 0 means no automation at all. You are doing everything. Level 1 introduces driver assistance features like adaptive cruise control or lane keeping assist. Level 2 is partial automation, where the car can handle steering and acceleration simultaneously, but you must remain engaged and ready to take over at any moment. Tesla's Autopilot and General Motors Super Cruise both operate at Level 2. Level 3 means conditional automation, where the car handles most driving tasks but may request the driver to intervene under certain conditions. Level 4 is high automation, where the vehicle can handle all driving tasks within specific geographic areas or conditions without any human intervention. And Level 5 is full automation, the holy grail, where the vehicle performs equally well in every environment, every weather condition, and every scenario, no human needed at all. Right now, the industry is largely operating between Level 2 and Level 4. And the gap between Level 4 and Level 5 is proving to be the hardest problem anyone has ever tried to solve in transportation history. So who is actually closest to making this real? Waymo is widely considered the global leader in autonomous vehicle technology. Their vehicles have now driven over 20 million miles on public roads without a human driver as a safety backup in select cities including San Francisco and Phoenix. Their robotaxi service, Waymo One, is commercially operational and has completed hundreds of thousands of paid passenger trips. Their safety data is genuinely impressive. In a study published in 2023, Waymo reported significantly fewer injury-causing crashes per mile compared to human-driven vehicles in equivalent conditions. That is not marketing material. That is verified, third-party analyzed data. But here is the catch. Waymo operates within what engineers call a geofenced area. Their vehicles are mapped down to the centimeter in specific cities. Step outside those boundaries, and the system cannot function. That is the definition of Level 4, not Level 5. Meanwhile, Tesla is taking a fundamentally different approach. Rather than relying on expensive LiDAR sensors that use laser pulses to build three-dimensional maps of the environment, Tesla is betting entirely on cameras and artificial intelligence. Their full self-driving software, now called FSD, uses a neural network trained on billions of miles of real-world driving data collected from Tesla's global fleet of vehicles. The argument is that since humans drive using eyes alone, cameras should be sufficient. The counterargument from most other engineers is that cameras lack the depth perception and reliability in poor visibility conditions that LiDAR provides. Tesla's FSD is currently classified as a Level 2 system despite its name suggesting otherwise, and it has been involved in a number of high-profile accidents and regulatory investigations. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has opened multiple inquiries into Tesla's driver assistance systems. The technology is impressive, but it is not yet what its name implies. Beyond Waymo and Tesla, there are other serious players worth watching. Cruise, backed by General Motors, was considered one of Waymo's closest competitors until late 2023 when a serious accident involving one of their robot Axis in San Francisco led to the suspension of their operating license in California. The incident involved a pedestrian being struck and then dragged by the autonomous vehicle. Cruise faced enormous regulatory and public backlash, and General Motors has since significantly scaled back its autonomous vehicle ambitions. This serves as a reminder that the margin for error in this industry is essentially zero. A single high-profile incident can set an entire program back by years. In China, companies like Baidu with its Apollo Go service, and Pony.ai, are making significant progress and in some ways face fewer regulatory hurdles than their American counterparts. Baidu's robot Axis have now completed millions of trips across dozens of Chinese cities. The Chinese government has been notably more aggressive in allowing autonomous vehicle testing and commercial deployment on public roads, which has given Chinese companies a real-world testing advantage that should not be underestimated. Now let us talk about what is actually making this so hard, because the engineering challenges are genuinely staggering. The first challenge is what researchers call the edge case problem. An experienced human driver handles unexpected situations constantly without even thinking about it. A ball rolls into the street and a child might follow. A construction worker waves you through a red light. A plastic bag blows across the highway at night in the rain. Teaching a machine to handle the essentially infinite variety of real-world scenarios is an enormous task. Every edge case requires either a specific programmed response or enough training data for the neural network to generalize correctly. Getting this right every single time, across every possible scenario, in every weather condition, is the core unsolved problem of Level 5 autonomy. The second major challenge is sensor reliability. Cameras struggle in heavy rain, snow, and direct sunlight. LiDAR has its own limitations in adverse weather. Radar is more weather-resistant but provides less detailed environmental information. Building a sensor suite that performs reliably across all conditions, then fusing that sensor data in real time to create an accurate picture of the world around the vehicle, requires extraordinary computing power and sophisticated software architecture. The third challenge is mapping. Many current autonomous systems depend on highly detailed, pre-built maps of their operating environment. These maps must be constantly updated to reflect road changes, construction, and new signage. Scaling this mapping effort to cover every road in the country, let alone the world, represents a massive logistical and financial undertaking that makes truly universal Level 5 autonomy far more complicated than it might appear. Then there is regulation and liability. Who is responsible when a self-driving car causes an accident? Is it the manufacturer, the software developer, the vehicle owner, or the passenger? Different states and countries have different frameworks, and the absence of consistent federal regulation in the United States has created a patchwork of rules that complicates national or global deployment significantly. Despite all of these challenges, genuine progress is being made. The technology today is dramatically better than it was even 5 years ago.